Hi, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore of Eurydice. We are MBE, WBE certified consulting firm, and my information is being scrolled across the screen. You will see my email, phone number, website where you can contact me, and I am here to share non-for-profit information with you. Today's show is about nonprofit. How did they get started? This is a part one, and the different types of nonprofit, especially identified by the Internal Revenue Service. I am an author of this book, Non-for-Profit Business. You can get this book at Amazon or McClure Publishing Company. Okay. Uh, and I'm going to be reading from this book. So I'm going to hold it up for a second. You could go to Amazon Border or McClure Publishing Company to get yourself a copy of this book. Let's begin. Please share this video, like it, hit the notification button so that you know this book is a step-by-step guide on how to set up a nonprofit. You know, if you want to DIY, do it yourself, this would be the book to start to set up your own nonprofit. Okay. Okay. Not-for-profit corporation. Okay. Oh, after over 30 years of experience in nonprofit, also referred to as not for profit, also NGO, which stand for non-governmental organization. This book was written with you in mind. Surprising, the majority of my work experience has been associated with some type of non-for-profit. My first job was as a high school student working at a Henry Horner project. They had a community library, and I worked there as a library aide. That was my first job, and I lied to get the job. You had to be 16. It was a summer youth job, and I was only 14. So I took my school ID, and I took a little small knife and I kind of opened it up, and then I took the card out of the laminated cover, and then I changed my age and I put it back and I glued it back, and I went to apply for the mayor office summer youth program. And I tell you, while I was sitting there, my heart was palpitating because, you know, I was not raised to lie. My family have a Christian background, and at that time it was back to Baptist, and I knew better. And I was sweaty, and my heart was palpitating, and I was afraid I would be discovered and reported to my parent, my guardian, which was my great grandmother Annie and my grandmother Anna. My great grandmother Anna and my grandmother Annie. Oh, the two A's. So anyway, nobody discovered me, and I got my first job, y'all. A project which is long gone called Henry Horner in Chicago. I had no idea that the pathway laid out to me would be where I would spend the majority of my work experience. After that, I attended Lucy Flower High School. Now, working in a library, did you know that libraries are non for profit? Yes. And even you, if you want to, you can set up a library. You can have a book collection and fill out the paperwork, and you could call it a library and seek out grants for it. Okay, so that was my first non for profit experience. Then I would attend Lucy Flower Vocational High School on the west side of Chicago in the West Garfield area, or either East Garfield, I don't know. But it's in Garfield on the community of the west side. And Did you know that there are schools that are non for profit, but then you got schools that are for profit? But in the case of the Chicago public school system, all their schools are non for profit. Okay. So some schools are NFP. It was in my sophomore year that Patricia Bartow, who was my science teacher, she was teaching biology, and I did pretty good in biology. And I used to watch a lot of hospital pictures, and I had phantom in my mind one day that I would actually work for a hospital. Well, towards the end of biology, when the semester was getting ready to close, Patricia Bartow, she asked me would I like to be in her cooperative laboratory program. And at the school, we abbreviated it and called it the CLP program. I became a science major at Lucy Flower High School, and it was there that I would have my first hospital job at Mary Thompson Hospital. Did you know that hospitals are non for profit? And you, a group of you can get together, a group of nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals, lab technicians, you all could get together and start a hospital, and it could be declared a non-for-profit, and you could be available for funding, especially governmental funding, six figures and millions of dollars that would take to actually operate a hospital. So Mary Thompson Hospital was on the west side of Chicago, about 15 minutes away from where I live. And prior to actually going there, Miss Bartow would send me to University of Illinois for the summer. I was not to start working at Mary Thompson until September. So during the summer, she sent me to University of Illinois, which is a hospital, which is a nonprofit. So you see, my the majority of my work life had been involved with different non-for-profit settings. Okay, so that was a tender trap set for me. So then I would enroll in college by being encouraged by the laboratory pathologist. I worked in a laboratory as a laboratory assistant after uh, my internship was completed. I worked in a laboratory, and Dr. Alpana, the pathologist, she would encourage me to go to college and get a degree. So I went to college. I went to a 2 year college, Central Y Community College, which was located downtown Wacker Drive, across the street from the merchandise building, which once was owned by the famed Kennedy family. So I went to there and I did 2 years. And after graduating, I had to take a state board. And I took my state board and passed. And I became what is called a certified and registered medical laboratory technician. And I could have the designation after the title. I would have Eurydice Moore, then MLT, which stood for Medical Lab Technician, then in parentheses, ASCP, which stood for the American Society of Clinical Pathologists, and which means I was board certified. And when you have a certification, your pay scale is higher. You know, when you walk into a hospital lab, you qualify to be paid more than someone that been trained, maybe took a few courses, but they didn't get the degree and they didn't get the certification. So that was courtesy of Ms. Bartow and the hospital staff. Later on, I would go on and I would work at Cook County Hospital, non for profit. And then I would finish my laboratory career, my healthcare industry career. I would finish that up at Rush Presbyterian St. Luke Medical Center. They have since renamed themselves as Rush, which is on Harrison, right across the street from Cook County Hospital. I would finish my medical technology career there, and supernaturally, I would end up at a church, and churches are non for profit, ministries are non for profit. And this video is pretty much for those of you who want to start a nonprofit, but you may not know what type. You might want to do a library. You might want to do a community center. You might want to put together a hospital. You might want to put together a church, a ministry. All of these things that I named are non for profit, and guess what? They are feasible and they are fundable. I would like to stop at this point. For those that are just tuning in, I am Dr. Eurydice Moore of Eurydice. We are a MBE, WBE certified consulting firm. I am a business consultant, also a 501c3 specialist. I help people set up nonprofits and get their 501c3 from the Internal Revenue Service. My information is scrolling across the screen. And what I this video is sharing the origin of non-for-profit. I am describing right now the different types of nonprofit. For those of you that missed the introduction, you can go back and review this video and start it from the beginning and get the information that you have missed. So, at the church, which is a nonprofit, the church had what was called a social service center. A social service agency, social service centers are non for profit, they are feasible, and they are fundable. So you may want to start a church, start a ministry, and there is a difference between a church and a ministry, and I will explain that at another time. There is a difference between the two. Please ignore the phone. It's on my charger. I forgot to turn it off. So I'm gonna move on with this. Now, the Social Service Agency, which is a nonprofit, had a youth program where we had an after school program specifically for youth, where we had recreational games, we did trips, music composition, offered vocals for those that wanted singing lessons. We did a lot. And then we also had a Friday food distribution where we distribute food to the community, mentoring program, counseling. We help people get governmental benefits as well. So I'm going to take this time to end this video, and you have covered part one, and I'm going to do part two for you soon, very soon. Thank you for tuning in.